Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Rachel and I am on my way to work right now, but I just wanted to say thank you for stopping by, and I hope that you enjoy this video and seeing what my family had for dinner this week. Good morning, it's Sunday and I'm not quite sure what we're going to do for dinner today, but I am going to put some chicken breasts into my crock pot. We have a birthday party today and it's right around, it's kind of that in between where it's not quite dinner, so there won't be any food there, and so when we get home it'll be dinner time, and I just want to make sure that we have something to eat when we get back or something to work with. So I'm gonna get this chicken ready so that I have a good start. And anyway, I just sprayed my crock pot with some non-stick spray and I put my chicken breasts in there. Now I'm just sprinkling in a bunch of different seasonings. There's some garlic powder, salt and pepper, some chicken bouillon powder, and a little bit of Creole seasoning in there. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water as well. And that's it. Just going to let it go. It's Bill's birthday, so I am making a cake. I have the strawberry cake mix on hand, and he likes Jell-O cakes, so that's what I'm making. I just got the gelatin all mixed together so it's nice and dissolved. When that cake is done baking, I'll poke holes in it and then pour this right into the cake. Okay, for my chicken burritos, I just have some chicken and some sauteed onions and some Baja seasoning from Taco Bell. Just gonna get these all wrapped up and get them in my greased casserole dish here. I'm just going to keep the production line moving, and I will be able to just pop these in the oven when we get back from our birthday party today. Not sure if I'll have enough time before we go to make the rice, but we'll see. It is getting kind of close. We got about an hour before we have to leave.
right, I just put the roasted garlic enchilada sauce on top of these burritos. Next, I'm gonna come in with some Mexican style blend shredded cheese. And I do have cheese that I could shred up, but I just don't have the time and don't want to. Okay, so I guess I have about a half hour before we actually have to be out of the door, so I'm going to go ahead and get this rice going. And first I'm just going to saute it in the same pan that I sauteed my onions in. I just have some olive oil in there and some bits of onion, but that'll be fine. It'll just give it more flavor. I had some leftover chicken, so I'm just going to pour that right into the rice with the juice and everything. Just popping a lid on that until all that rice is cooked all the way through, and then I'll turn it off and we'll reheat it when we get home. When Monday rolls around, I'm always looking for an easy way out when it comes to dinner. And nothing is easier than taco salad. So I have my meat cooking up, and I just chopped up some onion and some tomato. I set out some chips, some cheese, some salad dressing. I had a can of black olives, so those were set out too. And then we had this bag of lettuce. And I just made a ring with my Doritos around my plate, and then I just added the toppings that I like a little bit of lettuce, some cheese, some olives, and some tomatoes. I just put a scoop of that taco meat right in the center, and that was dinner. I did decide for a little bit more cheese on my meat, and then I just added some ranch dressing on top of everything. For dinner on Tuesday, I had to work, so I just ran into Horrocks Market, which is a market that's local to my area, and they have this wonderful soup bar. I looked at the white cheddar mac and cheese, but I was really there for the chicken and dumpling soup because I just love this soup. I didn't get a whole lot of footage because I was getting some looks like, "What are you doing in the pot?" from people, and so I know that can look kind of weird, like I may be adding something to it, but honestly, I just wanted to share the little setup that the store has because I think it is so cool and fun. I did pick up a chicken salad croissant as well, and that was my dinner. I did eat in my car. Just didn't feel like sitting in the market and eating, and I didn't feel like sitting in the break room at work. It was such a nice sunshiny day. I just opted to have dinner on my front seat on this day. I also had to run into the pharmacy to pick up some prescriptions, so I just sat at the pharmacy in the parking lot and had dinner, but it was so good. This soup is really one of my favorites. I get it every time I go there. By Wednesday, my pork chops were thawed out finally and ready to use. And so I am going to fry these in a pan with some oil. And to get the coating mixed combined, I just used a fork and mixed together some flour, some Tony's Creole seasoning, and that is it. Oh, I did add some breadcrumbs as well. And then because we were out of eggs, I just took a cup with some mayo and smeared it on my pork chops and then dipped them into the breading mixture, and it turned out really well. So if you're ever out of eggs, just keep this in mind. Or, if you just don't want to deal with eggs, this works too. So anyway, I just worked on getting those pork chops breaded up, and I have a pan with some little Yukon Gold potatoes on it. All I did for those potatoes was pop them in the oven and bake them. I did not add anything to them until after they were cooked, and then we just seasoned up our own potatoes. These were also just an item in my pantry that needed to be used. And I just fried up those pork chops in batches until they were all done, and they turned out really delicious. Just kept it simple, didn't have to do a lot of spices. And as you can see, they were nice and golden brown and crispy and really juicy on the inside. Now, everybody in my family always claims that they do not like pork chops, but they absolutely love these and said that they need to go into our regular rotation. And to go along with those pork chops, I am just cooking up some leftover cabbage that I had in my fridge that needed to be used as well. I had half of a red pepper, so that got chopped up and thrown in the pan as well. And I just added a little bit of crushed red pepper and some garlic powder. I did add some salt and pepper as well. And then I decided that to bulk it up a little bit more, I was going to add some chopped green onions and about a half a can of whole kernel corn. This side dish just kind of became a clean out the refrigerator type of dish, but it turned out really good, so that's all that matters. And anytime that I'm making a meal that requires my attention, like when I'm frying meat or something that takes extra steps, I like to keep my side dishes super simple, like this fried cabbage and these potatoes. And these pork chops, I don't know, did I mention that they were really tasty and good? Here is my finished plate, and this is what was for dinner on a Wednesday night. Not too shabby. And it didn't take as much time as you would think. Quick dinner tonight is just going to be some tuna casserole. So I have some elbow macaroni boiling in a saucepan right now, and it's going to be super easy just to throw this all together in my casserole dish as soon as I get this pasta al dente. Next, I have my Merry Christmas casserole dish all greased up with some nonstick cooking spray, and I'm going to add my cooked noodles into that dish. Then I'll start adding all of the other ingredients. This is supposed to be a small dish of tuna casserole, but look at how much I actually made. And I'm just going to make sure that this is seasoned up the way that I like it, which is just some salt and some pepper. we're just gonna be a little extra here and put some bacon bits on top. Going to top that with some fried onions, just for a little bit of crispiness on top. I like to have that little bit of extra texture with something like tuna noodle casserole that has a lot of soft ingredients. All right, this is gonna go in the oven now. Okay, it is dinner time. The tuna casserole is done and all of the stuff on top is nice and crispy. So I'm gonna get my plate made. Look at that. My dinner plate, I'm having some pickled beets with it. I know that's not like a typical side dish that everybody likes, but I like them, so this is my plate tonight. On Friday night, I spent a little one-on-one time with my granddaughter, Haley. We went shopping, and of course, we had to check out the Target Dollar Spot, one of my favorite places, but I was really kind of blown away with how big this Dollar Spot was at this Target. This is nothing like what we have at our Target in our town. So we were in a town that's close to where my granddaughter lives, so we went and checked out her neck of the woods. It was her birthday weekend, and she got to decide where she wanted to go for dinner. She picked Olive Garden, and of course, I was not mad about that. I had some salad, of course, love their salad, and then some breadsticks. It's been a very long time since I've been to Olive Garden. She was enjoying some soup and breadsticks, and she always says that if she likes something that she's eating, it makes her dance. I can appreciate that. And we ended our night by hitting the candy store as well. We had a blast, and she will be 11 years old on Monday. Good morning. It's early in the morning again, and I'm getting prepared for dinner. So I'm going to open this frozen bag of tilapia and get it marinating for later today. Each one is individually wrapped, so I'm just going to work on getting those opened. All I'm going to do next is just pour a little bit of olive oil over top of the fish, and then sprinkle on my Italian seasoning or dressing, whatever this is called, dressing, and I'm going to use this as a marinade. And I'm also going to just add a packet of water just to make sure that I have some liquid going on there. I'm just putting the cover on so that that can thaw and marinate at the same time. And then I have my shrimp out so that it can thaw too. And we're going to do something fun for the husband with some of these chipotle peppers. For dinner tonight, I am going to make some deviled shrimp, and I have these 2 bags of dried peppers,
And I'm just going to get them rehydrated in a pan of water along with a tomato. I only have one, so I'm going to probably fill in the gaps in this recipe with some canned tomatoes. But I'm going to get started on the chilies. Want the heat. And if you don't want it to be really spicy, you would not want to use this many peppers. But, you know, my husband is a daredevil. There we go. I'm just going to cover this with some cold water. Then I'm going to put it on the stove and bring it to a boil, and then I'll bring it back down to a simmer. And once these peppers plump back up, then we'll be ready to put them into the blender. Here we have the fish that's been marinating in the fridge all day. I'm just going to place that on my greased baking dish and then add the vegetables. Alright, I am just going to do some sweet potatoes and some radishes. And I have everything cut up about the same size so that they cook at the same time. Alright, now I'm going to get my tomato and my peppers into my food processor. I just got done chopping up some onions in my food processor, so that's what all the residue is. And since those onions are going into this dish, I'm not real worried about getting it super clean in between. And I'm struggling because while boiling these peppers, I just started coughing because they're so hot and spicy, and the steam was really getting to me. So I had to go outside and catch my breath, and it has died down a little, but that's something to be careful of. I almost forgot that I needed to add a can of tomatoes because the recipe called for 3 to 4 fresh tomatoes, and I only had one that was still good. So I'm adding a whole can with the juice and everything there. Okay, so now I'm also going to add a can of chipotles. The recipe said to add 1 or 2 of these if you want it to be extra spicy, and so since Bill likes extra spicy, that's what we're going for. Although I'm a little worried about how hot it's actually going to be because I am like really feeling the vapors from these peppers. Okay, here we go. I'm going to throw in a few of these. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna do 4. And then some of that sauce. Oh my goodness, look at that. Now I'm getting ready to crush up some fresh garlic. I'm doing about 4 cloves because that's what I felt like peeling today. In the pan, I am heating up some olive oil and some butter.
first we're adding all of our aromatics, our garlic and our onion. Then we'll get the shrimp cooked up. And that's the chopped onion. All right, now that garlic and onion is smelling so good and softened up, I'm going to add our shrimp. And these are only going to take a few minutes to cook. And then we're going to add the sauce and just let them finish up. And you just want to cook these until they turn pinkish. And it doesn't take long at all. Okay, so I just remembered that I was supposed to remove the shrimp from the pan before adding the sauce. So I hurried up and dug those out of there. And I'm just going to let my sauce cook and then add them back. I'm just going to add a couple capfuls of some lemon juice. And once that sauce gets heated up, I'm going to add the shrimp back in. And here is what the finished deviled shrimp looks like in the pepper sauce. Here is my dinner plate because I do not do shrimp and I don't do spicy either. So I opted for this seasoned fish and veggies. Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full, but I just can't wait to eat. And this just turned out absolutely delicious. Yum. Oh my gosh, I might just eat all my dinner right here at the kitchen counter. All right, you guys, I'm gonna leave this alone and just tell y'all goodbye. This is the last meal of the week. It was very delicious, but I'm gonna go eat and enjoy this. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.